let's see if she can back it up with her skills.
Indeed. And look at the tail of the tape. Alejandra Orozco, 2 years older. Saray, slightly taller. You look at her weight, just over 115 for Saray, under for Alejandra Orozco. Their records pretty similar there. One more loss for Saray Orozco, but I think he's faced tougher competition so far. That pink hair will actually be braided tonight, which is something I'm going to ask you too, because you're the expert on that. How about the hair? Does that bother you at all? Is there just simply your style or your preference?
Well, since the beginning of my career, I've always had 2 braids.
Okay.
Trademark.
We'll talk about it
Ladies and gentlemen,
in a minute as
the
we
next
go up
fight
in
is
the
the first
octagon with Felipe de
semifinal
Maria.
in the Lux Warriors Tournament, looking for the first ever strawweight champion of the world. Esta es la primera semifinal en el torneo Guerreras Lux en busca de la primera campeona de peso paja. This is the co-main event of the night and it's 3 rounds in the strawweight division. La pelea coestelar de la noche es a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la categoría de peso paja de Lux Fight League. Presentando primero en la esquina blanca, un especialista en artes marciales mixtas, récord profesional de 5 ganadas, 3 perdidas, una altura de 1 metro con 60 centímetros y un peso oficial de 113.7 libras. Presenting now on the white corner, she's an MMA fighter with professional record of 5 wins, 3 losses, standing 5 feet 2 inches tall, and official weight of 113.7 pounds. Fighting straight out of Zacatecas, México. She is la mexicana Alejandra Orozco. Al otro lado de la jaula, en la esquina negra, un especialista en artes marciales mixtas, récord profesional de 5 ganadas, 4 perdidas, una altura de 1 metro con 63 centímetros y un peso oficial de 115.5 libras. Presenting now on the black corner, she's an MMA fighter with professional record of 5 wins, 4 losses, standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, and official weight of 115.5 pounds. Fighting straight out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, she's Saray Orozco. Referee en turno, Gerardo Cruz.
Alrighty, so once again, one of the most anticipated matchups in the history of women's MMA when it comes to Lux Fight League. We're looking for the inaugural champion in the strawweight division. And to call this fight, I have one of the pioneers in the flyweight division with Bellator, multiple times world champion, Ilima Ley McFarlane, alongside yours truly, Francisco X Rivera. Everyone's ready, and it's Lux time. Guerreras Lux, our women's tournament, is underway, looking for the first champion in the 115-pound division. What do you think we're seeing tonight, Ilima?
Well, you know, again, their fight styles are very, very different. Alejandra really likes to throw lots of looping haymakers almost, and she's not afraid to take one to give one. But Saray is the longer fighter. I would like to see her stay on the outside and use her length. I believe that she does want to take it to the ground. She will have the advantage on the ground. She said in her pre-fight interview that she was able to work all aspects of her training this camp and had a very, very solid camp. But I feel that she will have the advantage on the ground if she can get it there.
Look at Saray Orozco trying to work the clinch and make her opponent uncomfortable, trying to go with knees in the midsection. And Alejandra just looking to weather the storm and throwing some knees of her own.
Yeah, Alejandra does have the double underhooks, but Saray is so long that she just can't, you know, seem to clasp her hands together to get that leverage that she needs to. Saray is doing a really, really good job at just pressuring her against the cage and peppering her with those knees, pummeling in. And notice her head position too, being the taller fighter. She has really, really good control right now, keeping the top of her head underneath Alejandra's chin. And that pressure alone is very uncomfortable and forces you to move, especially with those braids. We were talking about hairstyles earlier, and you know, honestly, having your hair braided like that and having it shoved into your opponent's chin, beautiful knee.
High knee, another one. You were talking about Saray being long and flexible, and Couldn't get any better than that.
Yep, she read that extremely well. When Alejandra leans over like that, she's able to throw that knee over the arms.
Once again, both knees meeting at mid-level. And Saray working her power here. Trying to shorten the range is Alejandra Orozco in the whites. And something else to mention, these beautiful outfits that the women's are donning tonight. Saray, black and gold. Alejandra, white and gold, keeping it a consistent line for the ladies in Lux Fight League MMA.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I love both of their outfits. I would 100% wear the the Lux uniform. I love, you know, like we were talking earlier about trademarks. I've pretty much worn the same style and have done my hair the same way from the beginning of my career, so that people can recognize me when I fight. And yeah, I always wear a rash guard that covers my torso and tights.
Now Saray keeps on working on the clinch.
You know, it's her head position that's really keeping Alejandra against the cage. Saray is doing a really, really good job, again, keeping that pressure in. And, you know, as soon as Alejandra moves her head over, that's when Saray throws those high knees. So that head position is what is winning the fight. Alejandra tried to answer with her own high knee and just missed the target.
Now Saray with some punches to the midsection, trying to damage the legs as well. Let's see if the referee at any point intervenes, as this looks like a deadlock. Doing, you know, Saray doing some damage, but at the same time, I don't think we'll get much better than this. Let's see. Well, now Alejandra counters the position, but Saray puts her back.
And, you know, to viewers who aren't familiar with the sport, this might seem like a deadlock, as you said, but this is actually a very, very grueling position for both fighters. You know, Alejandra has to bear the weight of Saray against the cage, has to fight to get off. Saray, on the other hand, has to hold her against the cage. And really, although it might seem like there is inactivity, it is extremely tiring. So Alejandra is actually able to grip her hands together now.
Good knee.
But those double overs by Saray broke her grip. Ooh.
All righty. So Saray is chasing at her. She looks hurt. Alejandra might be hurt. And look at Saray, and her corner's pressuring her to go forward. Big overhand right, and another one from Alejandra. And a good leg kick. Look at Saray. Pushing up the pace. It was a good combination. Some knees added as icing on the cake here to finish the first round. But Saray dominating the first round here against Alejandra Orozco.
And honestly, that was a really smart round by Saray. Here we have her again holding Alejandra against the cage and landing those beautiful high knees up to the head. You know, Alejandra just couldn't get her knees going. Saray was very active against the cage, throwing knees to the legs, to the midsection, and even up to the head occasionally. So definitely smart round by Saray. She knows that Alejandra likes to stand and trade, likes to throw those kind of crazy looping haymakers, is very tough, can take a hit. So I think that was a very smart game plan from Saray's team to hold her against the cage and wear her out there.
So Saray is ready for the second round. More experience for her, even though she only has one more fight than her counterpart. 5-4 against 5-3. She recently went to Japan and participated in Reason 15. That was back in 2019. A promotion that has featured the likes of Mirko Kroko, Filipovic, Takanori, Gomi, Shinja-Oki, Babalu, or CB Dalloway, actually, Vanderlei Silva. So she went to fight against the big girls and took a loss, but she learned from the lesson, and she's ready to make history here in Mexico.
Yeah, and you know, we've talked about other fighters fighting in different promotions around the world and getting out of their comfort zone. So that's, you know, if there's anywhere that's more foreign than over here would be Japan.
Yeah.
The culture, everything, even down to the bathtubs that they have to cut weight in, or the lack of, rather. So for her to be able to say that she went out and fought for Ryzen, the biggest promotion in Japan, that's a very, very big testament.
Right, she comes forward. Wow, turns in that machine. Good combination, 6, 7 punches plus knees. She keeps on going. Alejandra is hurt. And Saray now with a Muay Thai clinch, going for some knees. Alejandra seems to be in trouble. Head kick. She doesn't know how to defend. She doesn't know how she's surviving, but she somehow is.
Man, Alejandra is tough. She's just eating those shots. Oh,
wow.
Nice duck under by Saray. If I was Saray, I would break the clinch and just pick her apart. She was having a lot of success trading on the end, but it's Alejandra that closed the distance, maybe so that she could stop taking so much punishment from those shots.
Wow, Saray
Bleeding
keeps
from
on
the
going.
nose.
Good 1-2, and Alejandra misses right there. Good stick and move there by Saray, and look how she ducks and dodges punches and keeps stronger, comes back stronger. She keeps on going now. Another left, working on the jab there.
And you need to wonder how much gas she used in those flurries.
Wow, she was actually holding on her. There was something bothering her, and then Alejandra took advantage.
Again, these ladies are so tough. Alejandra just ate probably a barrage of at least 10 hard punches and is still swinging, coming back. So, I don't expect a knockout to happen just because of the sheer toughness of both of these women. Like I said earlier, women have a very, very high pain threshold.
And Saray throwing the jabs. She threw a forearm right before that. She goes against the cage, trying to work on the clinch, which was very, very dangerous for Alejandra Orozco in the first round. And also very tiring for the fighter in the white outfit. Wow, Alejandra trying not to be an easy target. She keeps on moving, but somehow she finds the face of Saray Orozco, but she reacts there with that 1-2 combination, finally landing in the face of Saray.
And you see her breathing out of her mouth right now. Like we said earlier, it is difficult to breathe with a bloody nose, not able to oxygenate your muscles. I mean, we know she's tough, but you could only be so tough when you don't have anything left in your gas tank anymore.
Saray working on the clinch once again as we have 1 minute left. This is the semifinals of Guerreras Lux, our women's strawweight tournament. Looking for the first champion in a 115-pound division. 45 seconds left in the second round. It's been all Saray so far, so it seems that Alejandra will have a tough time heading to that last round. Saray once again working on the clinch. As we said, she's 5-4, but a lot that she's learned going to Japan and coming back to Lux Fight League. Beating Yajaira Romo in the first round of this tournament. Even though it was a very close fight, Yajaira had beaten Saray before she learned the lesson, came back stronger, and now she's beating up Alejandra Orozco. Might be too late, and Alejandra might get saved by the bell, but still quite a dominating performance so far for Saray Orozco in the semifinals of the Guerreras Lux tournament.
Great round for Saray. Obviously, a lot more activity than the first round. I think Saray started finding her distance and, started really feeling comfortable on her feet, using her long reach to her advantage, and landed quite a few nice shots against Alejandra. But Alejandra, like the gangster she is, like I expected, she took those shots and she fired back. So a lot of activity in that second round, but I would have to give it to Saray. I think she is up 2 rounds right now.
So this could be over soon, but Alejandra is not going to let go easy.
Yeah, again, I really don't see a finish, and that is just from the sheer toughness of Alejandra and Saray. So, you know, I expect another 5 minutes of just slugging it out.
How about the weight class, obviously, at 115? How tough is it to knock someone out?
I mean, it's tough. These are tiny girls. I fight in just one weight class above them, you know, and you rarely see knockouts in my division. In fact, I can't even remember the last knockout. Maybe, I don't even remember. Maybe my doctor's stoppage, but
Yeah.
against Vida Arteaga.
You, however, won 6 fights via submission.
Yes. I would say that the submission rate is a lot higher than the knockout rate, especially in the women's lower weight classes.
Well, let's see what happens here in the last round, the third chapter of this fight in the semifinals of Guerreras Lux, the women's strawweight tournament between Saray and Alejandra Orozco. They are not related, not even close. The only thing that really they're related on is that they're two warriors that are trying to be the inaugural strawweight champion. Saray trying to go forward, Alejandra trying to work in that range. And Saray looking to be the hunter. Wow, big overhand right by Alejandra. And Saray couldn't counter.
Yeah, Saray, I like when she uses that jab and, again, stays on the outside, uses more straight punches. Alejandra, again, she likes to throw those looping shots, but that means that she has to close the distance. And so if Saray keeps her on the end of her punches.
Wow, great combination there to the midsection by Saray. Now, Saray, I think it's no secret she dominated the first 2 rounds. Is it time for her to basically retreat and just basically play with the clock a little bit?
You know, I think she is at liberty to slow the fight down and to play it safe. I know that it might not be the most entertaining thing that fans want, but, you know, when something like a belt is on the line, you do want to be a smart fighter. And as we see in this sport all the time, anything can happen. Doesn't matter if you're dominating 14 minutes of the fight, you could get knocked out in the last minute, you know. So, again, you do have to be smart.
And look at Saray Orozco. This couldn't be a better position for her, just basically trying to weaken her opponent by frustrating her and limiting her movement, pinning her against the cage with a clinch. Alejandra, however, not giving it away easily.
Yeah, and I don't think it's in Saray's nature to, you know, retreat. So I think, you know, she can play it safe if she wants, but no, she's going for it, you know. She's making this a fight.
The fact that you mentioned that you rarely see a knockout in this division, does it really change the mentality of fighters? I mean, can they be more reckless and go forward knowing that it's going to be tough to get knocked out?
I mean, again, I want to say, like, yeah, they can be reckless, but, you know, sometimes we see that it's not necessarily the power shot that puts somebody down. It's the one that lands right on the knob. And we see a lot of fights. We'd see a lot of knockout finishes that you're like, what? That knocked them out? But it was just perfectly placed. So never say never. You know, I'm really trying to think, when was the last time I saw a knockout in the strawweight division?
Yeah, because when you look at the heavyweights, it's kind of like don't get close to each other because, you know, they blow in your face and they can knock you out with that power.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was Wei Li.
Okay.
And she knocked out Jessica Andrade.
Sure.
I believe that was the last
Yeah, I watched that
strawweight
fight,
knockout. Yeah, I can think of. And even that one, it was just a perfectly placed punch.
Yeah. And Alejandra was trying to throw some knees, countered there by Saray. Alejandra once again, but Saray with the perfect position. And without necessarily retreating, she's been cautious, trying to pin her to the cage and just make it uncomfortable for Alejandra.
Yeah, again, Saray, I mean, their game plan was pretty flawless. You know, slow the fight down, make it to your pace that you want. You know, pepper her, pressure her against the cage, and then unleash when you want to. And we saw in that second round that Saray really, really unloaded on her with the striking. But prior to that and right now, just controlling her against the cage and tiring her out. Using her size advantage and her reach. Oh,
Wow.
beautiful sit back by Alejandra. But, oh my goodness, Saray read that so well, switched her hips, and reversed the position.
Saray in top position with the mount. Alejandra trying to get out, and that's it. Great effort from both parties here inside the octagon, and they recognize it. They recognize the effort, and I think Alejandra will have to be a bit disappointed, but there's no doubt about Saray being a much more dominant opponent, and she's ready for the title fight.
Man, and seeing that last short exchange on the ground, I kind of wanted to see more. You know, it was a bummer that it was the end of the round, but you could see that both ladies, you know, they offered both good things on the ground. Alejandra with that beautiful takedown and Saray with that reversal. Again, we have these women just slugging it out. Again, both of them not afraid to get hit. Taking one to give one, but Saray at the end of the day won the majority of those exchanges. Was able to control the pace of the fight, control the center of the octagon, and control Alejandra against the cage as well. Again, beautiful display of sportsmanship at the end of the fight there, which is one of the things that has stood out to me for this entire promotion and both cards, is that it's just complete mutual respect across the board from both teams, and it just shows that, you know, fighting, as we were talking about marketing and everything, it doesn't have to be filled with shenanigans and trash talking and all these characters. It can be a display of martial arts.
Let's go up inside the cage with Felipe de María.
Señoras y señores, después de 3 asaltos, nos vamos a las tarjetas de los jueces. Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 rounds, we go to the judges' score for a decision. All judges scored the fight 30-27 to declare the winner by unanimous decision. And now, advancing to the finals, to Saray Orozco.
Alrighty, so we have finalists. We're gonna have to wait on the next semi-final, and that could happen as soon as Lux 13. But in the meantime, it's time to celebrate Saray and her accomplishments. And then again, I think she's the whole package. She's got the look, she's got the personality, she's a very good fighter as well. So, you know, I think